What's up everybody, it's Carl, aka Carl Drum Tech, and today let's talk about how to use your practice time efficiently. Cue the music. Alright, if you guys are finding me for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button, this red button down below that says subscribe. That way you are notified anytime I put out a new video in regards to marching arts, marching bands, drum lines, interpercussion, drum corps, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a single upload. Now also make sure that notification bell is ringing as well. That way for sure you'll be notified anytime I put out a new video. So subscribe, make sure that notification bell is ringing, and let's get to the video. Okay, so how can you make your practice time more productive, right? And it's like, you know, it's kind of crazy to think that, you know, when you're practicing, there's so many things you got to do, right? You got to learn the music, or you got to make sure your heights are good, or you got to make sure that you're playing with the right technique. You got to make sure you play with the right dynamics. You got to make sure your timing is good. You got to make sure that you don't get off step. There's a lot of things to worry about, right? And at times, maybe you might feel overwhelmed about all the things that you have to fix, all the things you have to address, all the things that you have to practice. Okay, and I'm here to tell you that, you know, as somebody who has, gone through this process many times, right? Even just like, you know, when you're working like a 9-to-5 job or something like that, right? So if you had a job before, you know what this is like. If you are, you know, in school, you know what this is like, where it's like, even in school, right? You have so many things you have to worry about. You have so many homework assignments to turn in, so many tests to study for. You have so many other responsibilities in your clubs and band and stuff like that you have to worry about, right? There's all these responsibilities. At work, it's the same thing, right? It's like, you know, you're tasked with one assignment and then you have to do another assignment, and there's all these things, right, that need to happen that you are responsible for, right? Or like even just running a business, right? You know, there's something that, you know, me and my team are going through right now, where there's so many things we have to do, and it's like it can be so overwhelming. And I'm here to tell you that, you know, one of the best pieces of advice that anybody can give you, that I'm going to give you right now, that I give myself, that I give, you know, that we give each other as a team, is that you just have to focus on one thing at a time. Okay, so when you have a practice session, basically focus on 1 or 2 or 3 things, right? And it's like, don't focus on anything more than that, right? So maybe one of your practice sessions, it's dedicated towards just making sure you play with the right dynamics, right? So maybe you focus on, you know, what needs to be piano, what needs to be forte, and, you know, maybe you have some mistakes where it's like, you know, maybe you want to play forte all the time, and then it's like, you know, you have to control yourself and practice to be able to play soft dynamics and lower your heights and things like that. Just focus on that. Don't worry about your feet timing. Don't worry about, like, don't worry about, like, you know, the interpretation. Don't worry about your, you know, like just anything else. Just focus on that, right? So that's gonna make for a more productive rehearsal, okay, or productive practice. Speaking of rehearsal, right, it's like when you are in rehearsal, sometimes you are thinking, sometimes the agenda is like just 1 or 2 things, right? It's like maybe you'll just focus on the opener, and then maybe you'll just focus on, you know, I know it's so long ago, like since we've had rehearsals and practices, right, with all this quarantine and stuff like that. But yeah, if you remember at a time when we had rehearsals, right, you would just focus on 1 or 2 things at a time, right? Just the opener, just from A to C, maybe the end of the opener, and then that's it. That's all you do the entire rehearsal. That makes for a more productive rehearsal rather than trying to focus on the entire show and try to fix every single problem, right, during every single rehearsal. That is not productive, okay? The idea is that you want to make sure you focus on one thing at a time. Once that's good, you can kind of, you know, put it to the side a little bit, right? And then like focus on the next thing. And that's how you get better, right? It's like, you know, you fix one thing, that's good. Don't worry about it for a bit. Let's worry about the next thing. Focus on that, put all your attention on that, and fix that. That's pretty much how things progress, right? Even at work, it's like you have all these responsibilities, all these things you have to do. Just do one thing at a time. Focus on that one thing, finish it, great. Move on to the next thing. Focus on that, finish that thing, great. Move on to the next thing. It's the same thing as running a business. There's so many things that need to happen, so many things that you need to do. Complete one task, get to the next one. Complete that task, move on to the next one. Instead of sitting there being like overwhelmed at all these things that you have to do, it's better just to kind of put your focus on, just do one thing at a time, and then you'll make progress. You'll take steps towards the thing that you want to achieve, the goals that you have set for yourself. And then that is the most efficient way to get the most out of your practices and you know, your schoolwork and you know, your 9-to-5 job, your business, whatever the case may be. It's all about focusing on one thing at a time. All right, so guys, hopefully this video was helpful to you. I know it's helpful for me, even just to say to myself that all you have to do is just focus on one thing at a time, complete one task, then move on to the next thing and the next and the next. All right, so if you guys like this video, do me a huge favor, hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments would like to add to this conversation, leave it in the comments below as well. And if you have not subscribed yet, after I told you to subscribe, make sure you subscribe, okay? So you don't miss a single upload, all right? And then I make videos like these all the time. You don't want to miss them, all right? And if you feel like this video could help somebody else out, maybe somebody's overwhelmed about, you know, all the things they need to worry about, everything they need to improve, they got to get better now, just show them this video, tell them to calm down, all right? Fix one thing at a time. That's how you're gonna get better over time, okay? And it's gonna be very efficient, okay? So cool, guys, thank you again so much for watching. Really appreciate it. You guys should totally watch more of my videos by clicking over here and subscribing over here. Peace. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Bye.
Don't